So these just arrived with me via a courier this morning. This is an unboxing and in-depth review of the Ollo Audio S4x reference headphones. Hi guys, and welcome to Geek Talk here on the Vaughn channel, and I'm delighted to be doing an unboxing and reviewing of these S4x's from Ollo Audio. These are reference headphones. It's the flagship set of headphones in their S4 headphone range. I came across this company, Ollo Audio, just while I was doing a bit of searching online. I was just looking, what's available, and the name did pop up. They are based in Slovenia. So as I say, it's not a well-known name, certainly not like the Bayer Dynamics and the AKGs and the Sennheisers and all those, the big names. When you Google up, headphones, mixing headphones, usually those are the names that come up. But I did find this company through a bit of digging, and they came highly recommended from some fellow YouTubers and also some very big names in the industry. So I thought I would reach out to them and see if I could get a pair just to review. And I would like to say shout out to the lovely lady that works for them there. She's called Kaya. Hi Kaya, thank you very much for your professional conduct and for your efficiency. I sent an email, and within 72 hours these had arrived with me. I mean, that just speaks volumes for the sort of level of customer service that I think they're giving there. And this company is, or the man behind this company is a man called Rock, first name Rock. Yeah, his name's Rock, R-O-K. And he really is the man behind this. And I'm hoping to interview him later on this channel to get his story, because I think the story behind this is fascinating. But that I'm going to speak about a bit later at the end of this video. For now, we're going to do the unboxing. First impressions is the box it's quite small. And it's a very sort of simplistic looking box. It's not like really elaborate. And a lot of the research I've done into their company is that Ollo are very into, the environment and, sustainability, and not using more packaging than they need to. And I like that. I think in this day and age, it's good that people are more sort of environmentally aware. Right, so I'm just peeling off this label. It says Studio Headphones, Ollo Audio Research Development Lab. And then it's got the little sticker there, which says HPS S4x. Made in Slovenia, EU. Right, let's see what we got inside here. Okay. Tightly packed. Okay. Okay, it's got a little notice here. Important, do not press down on the headphones. You will create air pressure inside the ear cup that could distort the membrane of the speaker. Okay, so that's like the very first sort of friendly warning that pops up. We also then have this what's that, little nice presentation, like a little card. Oh, there we go. This is like the manual. Okay, owner's manual, nicely presented. And if you look at the packaging here, as I say, there's no more than it needs to. It's not very over the top and elaborate and indulgent. Oh, I like this. Here's a certificate of authenticity. You can just quickly see that. And it looks like, oh yeah, and it's actually got the date here, where it's been signed off. And it appears to me that, and it has the serial number. So that's great. So each one is individually signed off here. This one says model S4X, date 14th of the 8th, 2020. Inspected by, and it's got the signature. So that just shows that each model is individually checked and signed off, which is impressive. Oh, here we go. We also have a frequency response chart in here. There we go. I'll just try and get that into focus. It's a frequency response chart. As you can see, it's also signed off. So yeah, very impressive. The attention to detail. you get the feeling that a lot of love, has gone into this from, all the research I've done in the company. So just peeling back the some more of the packaging here. Right. Wow. Look at that. Very impressive. Very impressive. Okay, it's got a little case in the middle here. Pull that out. Oh, I like that. Hand built on the edge of the Alps. Awesome. It's got a little tab here that says pull. So we'll just pull that. Sorry, I'm on the spot here. Okay, so this is the so inside this little box here we have the these are the cable. This is the cable for the headphones, and this is a it's quite a nice. It's like a carry pouch. It's got the Ollo audio. I love the smell of new stuff. Do you also smell things when you get them? It's awesome. Right, let's take the headphones out. Wow, very, very nice. Very, very nice. And I see it's got the cable here. I love the attention to detail. I love the way the jack, it's a 1/4 inch jack to 2 mini jacks, and they're covered in plastic. Yeah, you just get the feeling that a lot of love and attention has gone into this. So that's it really. As I say, if you look at the packaging, there's no more than needs to be in here. And just my initial looking at these headphones, the smell test, yes. Wow. Now these are built from, these are wooden ear cups, by the way. Now it's apparently American walnut, aluminium, stainless steel, and the headband is what they call on their website Nordics leather. So it's not real leather, it's a synthetic. But everything in this package and on these headphones is made from sustainable materials. They just look awesome. They just look like, they remind me of sort of like sort of World War II aviators. The sort of fighter pilot, you just want to put some goggles on and a leather jacket. These are an open back design, so they've got like the mesh grill here, and as you know, these open back designs are better for mixing because they give a more realistic soundstage. So as I say, these are the S4x's. These are the flagship headphones in their range. They also have the original S4s, which were the original mixing headphones, and then they have the S4Rs, which essentially are the S4s, but they're a closed back design, more for tracking, and if you wanted to say mix on a plane or in a bus or in a coffee shop and not have your music spill out. But as I say, the open back designs are really meant for mixing. So the S4s and the S4Rs were the original designs, and then based on the feedback they received over time, they sort of tailored it and they've come up with this one, which is the S4x, and this is their ultimate top of the range reference model, and I cannot wait to try it out. But as I say, looking at the unboxing, there is no more packaging than needs to be in the box. It's very functional. It's not really sort of like indulgent. This cable here, just looking at it, I'm just taking the plastic off the jacks here. Now this is a 2-meter cable. Feels really solid. What's nice about this is everything from what I've read on these headphones is replaceable. So if one of the earpieces break, you can replace each part individually, and you won't have to sort of buy the whole thing. I mean, this is a criticism I have with my current sort of, you guys know this is my favorite set of headphones, the AKG K701s, but this cable is kind of molded into it, so if it breaks, you've got to have it fixed, or which will probably cost you as much as buying a new pair. But anyway, I like the idea of that everything on this is replaceable. That is really sort of synonymous with a sort of high-end piece of gear. It's an investment and it should last you a long, long time. So as I say, from initially looking at it, the build quality is very, very good. It's got a really sort of like handmade, custom kind of vibe to it. It just doesn't feel mass produced. It just feels really, really sort of classy. Well, let's pop them on and just see how they feel for comfort. Which is left, which is right? Not sure. Anyway, let's just pop them on first of all. Oh wow, yeah. Really, really comfortable. Yeah, I do feel like one of them World War II aviators. Awesome. And then the cables go into these little little holes over here. Like that. They clip in very sort of confidently. And as I say, what's great about this is very often, as you'll know, is the cables over time, they do break. And what's great about this is you can just replace this. And, you know, these are quite just, this is just to me a standard jack, 1/4 inch jack to 2 mini jacks. So it'll be quite easy to replace. But as I say, as far as comfort goes, these are really, really comfortable. And it's great that they haven't got that, they've got these kind of, it's not the sort of leathery, you know, when you wear those leathery type of headphones, you get like really sweaty. These are more a, it's synthetic, but it kind of looks like real leather. They've really gone to town to give these a really unique look, and I can see and I can tell from what I'm seeing here, a lot of love has gone into this. But of course, the proof is in the sound. What do these sound like? So I'm going to jump over to my turntable and we're going to fire these up and we're going to see my initial reaction to the sound of these S4x reference headphones by Ollo Audio. Right, so we're here at my turntable, and to review this, we're going to be listening to, no surprise, Depeche Mode Violator, probably one of the albums I've listened to the most in my life, and it makes sense to obviously test it on something that you're very familiar with. Now, I had a bit of a brain freeze moment there when I was looking at these, I was thinking, you know, which is the left and which is the right, and then it dawned upon me, okay, because all the parts on these are, you know, replaceable, it doesn't sort of have a sort of per se a left or a right. And what determines which is left or right, obviously, is if you look on the cables here, you've got it says left and right. So in other words, wherever you put right will become right, and where you put left will become left, obviously. Okay, so let's pop these on. Yep, that's right. I'm going to put them on. Very, very comfortable. I do like the feel of them. Very, very comfortable. Let's enjoy the silence, shall we? I know this record so well, so moment of truth. Very good. Very good, yeah. It does sound very flat. Oh yeah, you can hear every very open. Vocals sound okay. I'm a man. I can't sort of think and talk at the same time, so forgive me. From what I'm hearing so far, very impressed, very clean, very detailed. Very impressed. Let me quickly A/B it with my AKG 701s, because as I say, I'm so used to those headphones. So let me just do a quick A/B comparison. I'm so used to the sound of these, but I can already hear the difference between the two. Quite dramatically now, just on first listen. Let's pop these back on. Wow, the difference is quite drastic, actually. Now, I say when I first popped these on and I listened to them initially, I could hear they were very flat, very good, very honest. But of course, you need a reference point, you know, to be able to compare them to something else. So comparing them to these, which I've been using for years, the difference is quite dramatic, actually. And I'm quite shocked actually, because I do swear by these. So I think the best thing to do now is I'm going to shut down the video, and I'm going to go and spend some time with these now, and I'm going to listen to records that I've listened to for many years. I'm also going to analyze some of my own music, which I've done, because obviously I know it very well. I'm also going to have a crack at mixing a track that I'm busy working on at the moment using just these headphones. So that way I can gauge exactly what we're dealing with. So I'm going to shut it down, and I'll see you on the other side of the video. Okay, and the verdict is in. I must say, when I opened the box and I saw these, I just thought, oh my God, I so want to like these. They look great. I just want them to be great. Listening to them before I put them on, I just thought, okay, based on what I heard, I knew that they were going to be good. I had an expectation. But I can tell you that they have actually exceeded my expectations in the most surprising way. I mean, wow. They have blown my AKG 7K K701s out of the water. Like, and you know, guys, I have a lot of headphones. I get very geeky about things. I've used a lot of headphones. I've used the Sennheisers. I've used the Bayers, the DT 770s, and the 990s, and it is a preference thing. I personally felt that I could never mix on the Bayer dynamic headphones. My mixes just never worked. They never translated well. I found that they are great sounding headphones, but when I tried to mix through them, I just couldn't. But then again, as I've said, and I'm not meaning to be diplomatic, but I know friends of mine who are producers who mix through, Bayer DTs and 770s, and we have, heated debates sometimes as to what works and what doesn't. So it really does come down to what works best for you. But I've said before that I've used these for a long time. These are AKG. They were a lot more when they came out, but you can buy these now for about just over £100. But they are very, very good, in my opinion. I've made some records that I'm very proud of using these, but when I first put these on, it was like, okay, they sound good, but it wasn't until I compared them to these, because I'm so used to these. These are just amazing. So Ollo, guys, rock. Dude, you are not going to get these back. I'm keeping them. They're mine now. I have got absolutely no hesitation of endorsing these. As I say, I'm going to be putting these aside, probably for, it's always good when you're mixing on headphones, as I always say, to check on various systems. So I will be using them as another way of listening, as do I use my other AKGs, the 712s. I even use these ones, which are not really, these are more just for recording. So as you can see, I'm like most producers, I'm really obsessed by how my music is going to translate on various playback systems. But from what I can tell from these, I had a listen to a lot of, about 5 or 6 records that I know very, very well. And they weren't all Depeche Mode, to much of your surprise. I also listened to some records which I released, and I also used it on a mix I'm busy with at the moment. I'm busy working on one of my own tracks, the Vaughn stuff, which is quite industrial, quite heavy sounding. And I also used it on a sort of 80s synthesizer retro type track. And I must say that the definition you get from this is absolutely amazing. I don't want to go too much into the ohms and the impedance and the technical stuff, because you can look that up online. I just want to speak to you, sort of terms of emotionally and, in layman's terms, because that's what music's all about. Forget all the technical stuff. As I say, I always swore by these, but then when you listen to something through these, it's bloody good. And then you put these on afterwards, it's kind of like, it's almost like there's a veil that's lifted. It's not a thick veil, it's a very light veil. It seems as though on these S4x's, it's as if though the transients just sound crisper. And as I say, these are not technical terms. Something I found very, very useful with these was the bottom end on the sort of lower mids, and you get that muddy area around about 500. And also when you get to the sort of lower lows, sort of like the subs and those deeper frequencies that you can't usually hear without a sub bass. I was having problems with in a song with a really sort of like boxy kind of sound within a kick, and listening it, through these, it didn't become apparent, but when I put these on, that was very apparent. I've also found that what these seem to do really, really well is they seem to sort of show the seam between the kick and the bass. And if you're not a musician or a producer, you will know, we producers are obsessed about trying to get bass and kick to fit in well in our mixes. When it comes to producing records, the bottom and the sort of lower frequencies are some of the most difficult parts of a good record. And I really think these are going to help me a lot, because it seems to show, as I say, this is not technically speaking, but remember, when you listen to music, you're listening to it as a whole. Okay, and that's the very difficult thing as a producer, is you're trying to listen as a whole, but at the same time you're trying to isolate everything into its separate parts, and then at the same time make it a whole. So you want the mix to be cohesive but detailed, and it's a very fine art. But to the listener, when you're listening to music, it should sound just like one whole piece of work. Now, what's amazing about these is even in well mixed records where you get the bass and the kick kind of working together, so you just get this feeling of a bottom end as opposed to two separate elements, if you know what I mean. In other words, they're glued well together. Well, these headphones, to me, they kind of undo that glue. They kind of, you can almost hear the seam between where the bass and the kick cross over. And as I say, these are not technical terms and they're very hard for me to explain, but I'm just saying that they have a really, really great detailed sound. The actual sound stage, the sort of stereo image, is not as wide as some headphones. I do find some headphones have got a very wide sound stage. However, I find these to be very, very natural. And if I compare them to my, sorry, darling, I mean, I love these, and I'm not going to get rid of them. I do love them, but as accurate as what I thought these were, and as flat as what I thought they were, as I say, putting these on afterwards, it's like a veil was lifted. And these to me have a more sort of smooth sound. And smooth meaning bad in the sense of music production. Not bad, but it's kind of flattering in a way. Whereas these are just brutally honest. I am really, really impressed by these. These are absolutely... mind is blown, really. And as I say, these come in for 399 euros. So for a headphone of this price, I really think it is punching way above its weight. And quite frankly, compared to some of the top name brands I've heard, this blows them out of the water. Wow. Okay, so now I want to quickly jump onto the Ollo Audio website and let's have a look how things are looking there. Right, so here we are on the Ollo Audio website, and it's a nice, clean, easy to use website. And if we jump here to the S series headphones, you can see the mixing headphones here. And this was the initial one they brought out. I believe it's called the S4, and these are for mixing. As you see, they look very similar to the S4x's that I've just reviewed. And they have a price of 289 euros, so you can just convert that into your local currency. If we go back to the recording headphones, you can see that they look the same, but they have this closed back design. It's like the solid plate. So these are better for tracking, obviously, because they don't have any spill. So if you're recording vocals, and it's also good if if you're mixing in a room and you don't want to be heard. But as I say, usually open back headphones are better for mixing, as they have a more natural sound. Now, if we jump to reference headphones, these are the ones I just reviewed today, which are the S4x's. And this is basically their slogan, flat out of the box. And you can see by the frequency chart here, that is pretty darn flat, compared to, most headphones. If you scroll down this website here, you've got the three different models that they have, and you can see it's a nice website. It gives you the
the frequency response of each model. So if you want to say look at the frequency response of the S4X, you just click that and you can see that's a very flat frequency response. So the S4X is really the flagship headphone, and it is really an improvement on these two, as based on all the feedback they got on these two models, they were able to produce this one. Now these are cheaper. I think these go for, what are they, 289, so about 100 euros less. But from what I've heard, these are amazing as well. So if you can't afford the reference ones, I really, from what I've heard, I believe that the S4s are, you know, the next best thing you can get if you don't have the budget for the you know, the reference ones, the S4Xs. I saw this. You've got all the information here. Every part can be replaced, which is what I mentioned in the beginning of the video. It's quite nice. When you buy these headphones, it's really like an investment because they will last for a long time. They're built very, very well, but it's nice to know that if something goes wrong, you can actually replace the parts individually as opposed to having to buy a whole new set of headphones. And as you can see, it's endorsed by some recording artists. So there's some top engineers here that are endorsing them, and they look great. I mean, just look at them. They just really look like they look really retro. I do love the look of them. What I also like about this website that I've not seen on any other headphone manufacturer's website is they have this how do they compare page here, and when you click discover here, they have the frequency chart here and the frequency responses of some very, very well-known brands. And, you know, we all hear about the HD 650s, the HD 518s, the AKGs, the Sennheisers. And it's quite good to see how they sort of measure up here. So if you just sort of unclick them all, you can say, if we take the S4Xs, you can see there it's a pretty flat frequency response. Oh yeah, and I do have a pair of these AKG 712s. If we check those out, you can see a bit of a serious dip here at 350, and then a bit of a peak there. So I mean, at the end of the day, there's no such thing that is 100% flat. You do need to become accustomed to what you're using. But I think the whole idea with these headphones was to produce a set of headphones that were flat out of the box. I know these days there are great sort of correction software, sort of like SonarWorks, where they provide a preset which kind of flattens the frequency response of any particular model of headphone. But I think with Ollo Audio, the idea here was to create a headphone that was flat out of the box and didn't require any sort of third-party plugin to create the to apply the flat frequency. So yeah, I mean, just have a look through this website. It is really interesting to just look at the frequency responses of competitive models. And also, if you're interested in these headphones, what they do is they do a 30-day trial period on all the purchases, which is nice. So it's like you get in touch with them and then you start your trial, but all the information is here. And then you can use these headphones for 30 days and see if you like them. But, based on what I've heard from these headphones, these S4Xs, you will not be disappointed, really. I'm not easily pleased. Very often when things come along, you look at them and you'll go, okay, this is just a incarnation of something else. But these to me are something absolutely special. So do check out their website, and grab yourself a pair of these. As I say, if you can't afford the top of the range reference ones, which are the S4Xs, then go for the S4s, which are probably the next best thing. But yeah, check them out. It's olloaudio.com.
So, conclusion. I'm convinced. I'm happy to endorse these Ollo Audio S4Xs as probably the flattest headphone I've ever heard. Honest to God, it is amazing. And I'm so excited. Rock and the guys there at Ollo Audio, you guys have done a fabulous job. And I'm happy to give this headphone my personal endorsement. I know this review hasn't been incredibly technical, but as I say, all the technical information you can find online. I think what is more important to me in a review about things like this is the honesty, and how I feel about it and how it sounds, and to explain it so that it comes across in layman's terms. Because when you say to people, oh, there is a dip at 300 and a boost at 500, a lot of people who are not that skilled in music production won't necessarily understand that. So I like to kind of steer clear of all the technical mumbo jumbo and just give an honest from the heart opinion. Well, my heart says yes, my ears say yes, and my mind says these are amazing. Guys, check them out. It's olloaudio.com. Links in the description below. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you've used these headphones. If you got any questions, leave a comment and I will try and answer as many as I possibly can. But yeah, take them up on their 30-day trial offer. You've got nothing to lose. And based on what I'm hearing now, if you take them up on that 30-day trial offer, I don't think you'll be sending these back, because these are incredible. Guys, thank you for your time. Thank you to the guys of Ollo Audio for sending me this. I'm very grateful, and I will see you all on the next video. Adios.